Can you
Hey,
hear
what are
me?
you doing?
Yeah, we
I
can
hear
hear
you
you.
perfect. What are you in your car?
I am in my. I'm in a Tesla because I was like I couldn't sleep last night. I was like, man, Elon Musk is broke. I need to make him a few bucks. So yeah, I'm in a Tesla.
I know. I heard he's
Nice.
taking a government job.
Indeed.
Hey, this movie, I saw it screening recently and met you there. Blew my mind on the film. Tell our audience about the performance and how you came across the material.
It's funny. I'm on my way right now to see my mother, and she gave me the short story, "The Performance" by Arthur Miller, out of the New Yorker. She said, "There's something in here for you." My mom has been my acting teacher since I was 8 years old, and when she's not very frivolous with her actions. She's very direct, and it has a lot of weight. And so I took it seriously, and she was right, man. This is the role of a lifetime. And my sister adapted. She said, "Can I adapt it?" I, of course, and she directed it, and I produced it, starred, and it only took me 15 years to make. So it was, like my career was an overnight success. Um, and and I play a tap dancer, and I didn't know how to tap, and so every year that people turned us down for the money, I got better at tap.
I gotta say that opening scene where you're doing those stretches.
Yeah,
Can you still do that? I mean, it's insane. I mean, like it was incredible what you were doing in the opening. You see your characters kind of getting ready to tap, and the dance. I mean, phenomenal. It's a very physical performance.
it is a very physical performance, and yeah, that was I filmed it a year and a half ago, so I haven't deteriorated at the speed of light, so I can still I can still put my foot above my head, and the tapping was me. I studied with our choreographer Jared Grimes, and it took me a long time, and the more no's we got, the better I got at tap, and hopefully that'll inspire people to not give up.
And the story seems, I mean, it seems really timely. And I was
Unfortunately,
surprised. Yeah, I mean, and also what was really surprising was I assumed it was a true story because
yeah.
there was an authenticity to your character and whatnot, and just the times. It was very authentic. I mean, a period film too, set in the 30s. So
Yeah, 1937, just before the Holocaust, and Harold May, my character, is a tap dancer, and not very successful to this day. You don't make a lot of money being a tap dancer, no matter how good you are. Um, and he was really struggling, and he gets the offer of a lifetime, and I can't, and he hides his identity in Berlin. And I can't tell you too much, but 'cause I don't want to give away everything, but
yeah.
uh, the performances in it. Robert Carlyle. I mean, I can't think of anyone who would have played that role better. He was so genius, and haunting, and terrifying, and seductive, and charismatic, and all these things, man. He just crushed it, and yeah, man, it's definitely the best work of my life.
Well, we've got over 2,000 people watching live right now. They have a lot of questions in the chat. I want to, is the film, is it in theaters now, or is it like coming to VOD? How can people see it? Just to make, so I don't
It'll
forget to
it'll
ask.
be it'll be in a limited release in L.A., New York, and Chicago on December 27th, and then we'll open wide in the new year. And I will get all the information. If you go to any Jeremy Piven might go to my Twitter or my Instagram account with the little blue check. Um, I will give you all the information about that you need. And I'll be doing Q&As at the theater with my sister, and it'll be fun.
Right. And we have a lot of questions from our chat here with people watching. I would be remiss if I did not mention your your character, Ari Gold, in Entourage is so iconic. I mean, so beloved. Probably one of my favorite assholes on television. I mean, you were just so, and the fact that I always love when there was an Ari centered episode. It was always fun. Can you tell us a little bit about that and maybe yell at me in character? I would love that. I think our audience would love it. I just think you must get that all the time. But that character is amazing. How you made Ari Gold into such a reality. I feel like I knew agents like that.
Yeah, I mean, we all listen. It's based on Ari Emanuel. That was the inspiration. He still is Mark Wahlberg's agent, and such a brilliant businessman and prolific agent. Uh, all these characters really exist. There was a drama, Turtle E, and we tried to get the world right and specific, and it was an honor to play this character. And I'm a stage actor from Chicago, and I've been on stage since I was 8 years old and studied all over the world, and no one cares. No one cares. No, when I do stand up, I unpack all of this, and I have a lot of fun with it. And every word was written, and it was our job to make it feel improvisational. And they said, what was your trick? And my trick was Joyce Piven, who I'm on my way to see right now, my mom. We would do lines together. I mean, sorry, we would run lines. So, hey, wait a minute. Don't do lines with your mom. Right. Do not do lines with your mom. By the way, on stage, I will unpack what that would actually look like. No, Joyce Piven, everything I said is Ari Gold. I've said to her face. And, she's a total pro, and she never flinched. And we would run it like a play. And I would run it until I felt I owned it. And then I would go and hit set, and I would feel present and loose and playful. And I, the work that I would do at the Piven Theater was, no matter what role you're playing, no matter what bit of literature, whether it's Chekhov or David Mamet, you have to be present and in a state of play, which I was for Ari Gold. So if people think that I am Ari Gold or that the character was very authentic, that's beyond my control.
And in today's current climate, I mean, Entourage, I love the show. I watched every season, never missed it. I wonder, could you even make Entourage today?
It's funny. I think, and look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but people want to laugh now more than ever. And every one of my stand-up shows, they're sold out, and people just need and want to laugh right now. Life is very, very confusing. And one of the most watched pieces of content on Netflix was the roast of Tom Brady, which was very confronting and funny and acerbic and offensive to some people, and edgy. And that was one of the most watched pieces out there. So I think that a show like this, people would really want to see and gravitate towards. And Ari navigating this culture and this climate, I think would be really fun to watch him walk on eggshells. Having Ari navigate pronouns with Lloyd as his politically correct consultant would be hysterical.
Yeah. Oh my God. Please make that happen. Let's go to some of the comments we have here. The chat's on fire here. Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Sir Jeremy. Liked you in Entourage. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Sorry. Well, don't use a shaky camera like this, although it looks very authentic. Beginning filmmakers, I would say the same as beginning actors, which is, engage in any experience that comes your way. Just begin the process. Start filming on your camera, go to sets, observe people, get in the mix, learn. Nothing is beneath you, and just get out there and do it. And also
Uh,
take an acting class so you can know what it's like from an actor's point of view if you want to be a filmmaker.
Professor Fear asks, is tap dancing a good workout? I mean, I'll say, having seen the movie, I could not do any of that stuff. The stretches alone, crazy.
Yeah, it is a great work. It's incredible, especially because in 1937 we were doing numbers that were very authentic to that time, and uh, a lot of movement, a lot of movement, and I'm not used to doing choreography, so that was one of the most kind of humiliating things for me at first. My entire troupe, all these brilliant actors in the UK, you know, it's a requirement at drama school to take dance and tap. And with us, you know, I started studying at 8, ended up going to NYU and studying at the National Theatre of Great Britain in London and blah, blah. So I've studied my whole life, but it was never mandatory to study dance. So I didn't have a reference for choreography. And yeah, it was really challenging, but man, it was worth it. Totally worth it.
Aid Ellis 24 asks, what lessons from growing up in Chicago have the most direct impact on your methods as an actor?
Um, well, we were very lucky because the audiences would show up. So I think the reason why people are like, "Wow, actors from Chicago, why?" You know, they're really making a mark for themselves. And I think the variable is that people show up for us, and we're performing in 99 seat houses, and they show up, and we had audiences, so we got the reps in, and my parents were great teachers to me at the Piven Theater, and they always kind of like instilled into us that we are enough. Whatever we bring, don't doubt yourself. You're enough. Whatever you're bringing, don't beat yourself up and stay after it. um so those kind of things have always stayed with me.
And Razorburn asks, Jeremy, what was it like to work with John Cusack in Gross Point Blank?
Grosse Pointe Blank was a beautiful example of a dark comedy, um so brilliantly pulled off by all those guys. um and you know, I've known John since I was 8 years old. We started at the Piven Theater together, on stage together. We both started butchering Chekhov at a very early age. Um, and yeah, he's a brilliant film actor. That there's a lot to be learned from him. Just you know, he added so much integrity to all of his roles. He really taught me that acting is a momentum sport, and to find your rhythm and your groove and your momentum. And Yeah, we worked really well together. We bounced off each other, um, because we also were in shorthand. We'd been performing together since we were kids, so uh, everything counts. You know, when we're improvising and we're in a scene, we were always very present for each other, and we could hit a rhythm that elevated, or just you know could go anywhere. And we also learned growing up from our parents that there was no difference between drama and comedy. They could exist in any scene at any given moment.
Here's a question from Patrick Lemire following up on that. Are the rumors of a Gross Point Blank sequel merited? I mean, they're rebooting so many things, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my God. Get the band back together,
Yeah.
you know, at a high school reunion with Martin Blank. That would be incredible. You know, we're all still around and thriving, and there's much to be explored about this current climate, and how Martin Blank and his crew would be thriving and navigating through all this.
And a comment here from Sons and Shadows. Special shout out to Jeremy for having a range. I first found Jeremy Piven on the TV show Cupid. Class act. His early work is tremendous.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. Film threat. I need to. I need to, they say go where you're loved, not where you're tolerated. So I'm coming to you guys.
Okay, good. And then all twisted up. Can't wait for this. Piven's acting chops are top notch. Mr. Selfridge alone is proof of that. So there
Thank
go.
you.
More
Yeah,
compliments.
that's a PBS show. So he's one of 11 people that watched. So shout out to PBS.
There you go. And 8Ls24. Have you seen a story like the performance resonate more with people after the events of the past year? How has that affected the release of the project? I mean, what are your thoughts?
That's a great question. And we're living in times where, we see the news and we hear about Jews being beaten for being at a soccer game
Yeah.
in Amsterdam, and very confusing times right now. And the thing about this movie is this is how I contribute to the conversation, because I could sit here on an interview with you guys or tweet out something, or but nothing will be more impactful than me contributing as an actor. When you see this film, and you can weigh in on this, this will cause a lot of interesting conversations about these times, even though it took place just before the Holocaust. It's more relevant than ever. So this is how I contribute to this conversation. Unfortunately, this film couldn't be more relevant. And I can't wait to get this film out and start having conversations with you guys.
Yeah. Well, I found your Instagram here. Obviously, it's Jeremy Piven. So go to that to get info about your stand-up dates, where you're going to be doing that, screenings of the movies, and look at you've got all your positive press. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for all you do. You're a class act and an independent. I mean, this movie was an independent film that took you 15 years. I mean, it's incredible, that kind of dedication.
Well,
So,
thank you.
amazing.
If I gave up on this, I'd be giving up on myself. So don't ever do that. I would just say that to anyone. Yeah, you got to keep going. And once you saw the film, and once people see it, they get it. It's just breaking through all the gatekeepers to get it out there. That's the trick. And if you have that vision, and you know that you can't be stopped, you'll stay with it. And if you want to see me unpack all of this with the gloves off, come to the Laugh Factory Covina, which is about 15 minutes outside downtown LA, the weekend of the 22nd coming up. I'll meet you out there. Intimate little room, and it'd be an honor to make you guys laugh.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Say hi to Joyce.
I
That's
will. She's going to
awesome.
be mad that you made me late.
Oh no. All right. Well, take care and don't do lines with her. Run lines.
Don't, wow. I want to finish that bit. I'll do it on stage. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
All right. Take care,
Okay.
Jeremy. Thank you
See you
so
later.
much.